Hey guys, how are you? Hope you're all doing very well. This afternoon I'm going to be doing a movie review. This movie is a drama from Argentina, Spanish language English subs, released in the year 2009, directed by Gabriela David, and this film is called La Mosca en la Ceniza. So the La Mosca en la Ceniza is about two girls from the north of Argentina. They're very poor, they don't have any future ambitions because there's no job opportunities. So when they get a job opportunity, both in Buenos Aires, the capital, they think it is an opportunity too good to pass up. So they get on a bus, accompanied by a man who's going to show them where to go, and when they get to Buenos Aires, their job is not what they thought. In fact, they're going to become prostitutes. So they're stuck inside this brothel against their will, and the other prostitutes tell these girls that they have to do what they're told, otherwise they risk vanishing forever. So the girls' friendship is what keeps them together, and it's a very close bond, and that bond is really tested as the situation becomes more and more dire. And then they come to the realisation that if they don't want to disappear forever, they're going to probably have to try and escape this brothel. So whether or not they can do that, something you're going to have to find out for yourself, because that's as far as I'm going with my synopsis. Now my thoughts on La Mosca en la Ceniza. This is a movie that absolutely nobody talks about. You look on IMDb, there's hardly any reviews, so it really was an unknown sort of movie for me. I didn't know what to expect, and what I got from a film is very similar to The Seasoning House, where it does show you about a situation where a very innocent person has been put into a very dire set of circumstances. But the reason why this, I feel, is better than Seasoning House is because Seasoning House actually felt like an entertaining movie, and it was making light of a very serious situation, whereas La Mosca en la Ceniza, this movie is not entertaining at all, for a very good reason, is that it's tackling a very troubling subject matter. And I think to make this entertaining is kind of not paying it the respect it deserves. And so I think Gabriela David does a very good job at throwing the topic on the table so people can discuss it. This movie, it has no beauty, the movie has no entertainment, the movie is solely made to hit you in the stomach and to make you feel very, very bad for these girls. These girls are very innocent, and when they go into the brothel, they're being forced to do things where their innocence is corroding by the minute. And as you see these soulless girls basically shell-shocked from what they've had to do, and the reason why this is so scary is because it actually happens. And I think for a subject matter where it's actually happening to girls worldwide, I think you have to have a certain level of respect. And don't get me wrong, I like Seasoning House, but I thought that was more of a movie as opposed to something like this, which is a documentation of a ghastly industry that is basically preying on the vulnerabilities of these innocent people. So the movie, I thought the characters were absolutely fantastic. Now to start off with, you've got bad people and good people, but it's not clear cut, it's not black and white. There's a lot of grey areas with especially the bad people. You've got these owners who are despicable human beings, and although the movie is not condoning their behaviour, it's giving you a reason as to why they've become the people that they are. And this is why the movie is so uncomfortable, is because yes, you can hate them for what they're doing, but their set of circumstances have moulded them into the people that they are. So basically they are a victim as well. And so the true victim of the film obviously are the girls, and I'm not condoning these these traffickers, because they are horrible people. But as I said, when you get an insight into these people, that they're not caricature bad guys, you feel to yourself, okay, well, maybe it's a societal sort of problem, in that the circumstances of these people have forced them into desperate situations. And so the whole film just has a very, very tragic atmosphere to it, which I thought really captivates the audience, and it makes it for a very uncomfortable film. It's like seeing a car wreck. You don't want to look at it, but you can't help but look at it because of the way that this movie is actually being portrayed. It's a very, very dirty film, which I thought paid respect to the overall dirty subject. You've got this brothel that feels like the centre of the universe, these girls. Every corner feels like it's filthy. It feels like you need a shower at the end of it. All the goodness of humanity has been sucked out. The life has been drained out. It shows you the ugly of humanity, but the complexity of humanity as well. So the best part of the film, I will say, was from a waiter in the movie, played by Louis Machin. Now his character was very insecure. He felt like he didn't fit into society, and so he's constantly talking about his teeth. His teeth had to be removed, and he's very, very conscious of it. And he feels that he can't connect to anyone in the outside world. So when he comes into the brothel, you feel that he's looking for a connection with a girl, and that they're being forced to pay attention to him. Whereas in the outside world, because the girls aren't forced to pay attention to him, he feels that he has a connection inside this very, very dirty sort of atmosphere. And so that's a tragedy in itself, in that this guy can't find love, so he's substituting lust for love, and he feels that he's found happiness, but ultimately he wouldn't find this happiness if this girl had a choice. And so it gives a lot of complexity to the clients of this film too. So Gabriela David feels like she had a very solid plan in trying to paint these characters as more than just black and white, and trying to give you an insight into just a whole corrupted society. And it's basically if these people had different roads to go down in their life, maybe they would have turned out better. But it just shows you a film that I think, as I said, is incredibly respectful. The acting is brilliant. The two main girls do a great job at portraying someone you can really connect to. Luciano Caceres plays one of the owners who's a very sick person. He's coughing up blood all the time. And he's a very mysterious character, and you don't exactly know what his story is. But although they're doing these horrible actions, the movie dares to paint these bad people doing this horrible thing as real people, and that there are some likeable qualities within these, these bad guys. And I think that that in itself is a very risky move, and it shows you that Gabriela David really does have the courage to make something that a lot of people will be very uncomfortable with. So the continuity was very good. I thought the pacing really doesn't get stuck anywhere. But I will say the problem with the film is that the ending is very weak. I thought that it was a cop-out. I thought it was very convenient, and it was just tying up loose ends because it ran out of time. So because of that rush sort of element towards the end, it does prevent it from being a very, very good film. But having said that, as far as Argentinian cinema is concerned, it does tackle a very controversial topic without exploiting it, and basically giving the respect. You know, it's not a graphic film. You'd see violence against these girls, but you don't see the sex, and you don't see any rape. So it's not exploiting this situation. It's basically giving you an insight into the atmosphere and the hell that these girls had to live through. And so it's a very dark, downbeat and depressing film, so you have to be in a very good mood to watch it. Otherwise, yeah, you could be left in a bad mood for a few days after the finish. So it's a memorable movie, and it's one that I'm going to be recommending, and overall I'm going to give La Mosca en la Ceniza 4 stars. Alright guys, that's it for my review. Hope you enjoyed it. Till next time, keep watching movies, and I'll see you later. Bye.